我坐公交车，那俩姨在背后跟那蛐蛐我嘞。他说：“姨，你看这闺女长得真呵，外国来的吧？”我没有吭气。然后他又说：“你看这闺女长得呵是呵，长得还怪好看的。”
Hey guys, part of this girl's appeal is that the look doesn't match the accent. For those of you who are Chinese speakers, you know her accent is so authentically Henan. Henan, I'm gonna try to figure out an academic analogy for Westerners. So people kind of perceive people from Henan in China as almost, let's say, American would perceive maybe someone from Florida or West Virginia. That accent, when you hear it, you immediately think of, okay, these people, you have certain perceptions, right? I'm not going to explore it too much. You guys know what I'm implying. And what I love about it is she plays up those perceptions. She knows that everyone gets like an initial shock when they hear her speak with the Henan accent. Now, I will explore more about her, but she was a Pakistani who as a baby was adopted and brought to Henan in China. That's why she speaks such perfect Henan dialect. I've actually heard her speak Mandarin too, and of course, most people in China, their Mandarin is pretty good, obviously, right? It's the state language. But let's finish this bus story.
然后我跟他俩打招呼，我说：“耶姨，今儿真冷的天，你也出来玩了。”然后他俩不敢吭气。
She's basically Chinese, right? Because she grew up in China. But because she doesn't look the part, she can sort of critique society in a way, right? Even though she is even more Chinese than I am. This story is so funny because it highlights what I've been talking about for years. Chinese people just are very honest about two things, right? They're very honest about your ability to express yourself. So if your language skills aren't good, they'll say it. And then they're also really honest about appearances. The humor of the story is that they thought they were talking about her behind her back, but she understood. But even if they knew she understood Chinese, they would probably still say something about her skin type and say something about her Chinese ability.
我哪一点长得不像河南的？我这高鼻子大眼的，是不是啊？还长得又白，哪儿不像河南人？我觉得我哪儿都像河南人。
So this girl's name is Fan Zihe, and on social media, oftentimes she goes by Xiao Heini, which is kind of local dialect for the little black girl. She's got millions of followers on various social media platforms. And as I made this and I was looking online, I found that she actually has a YouTube channel now. So I'll link her YouTube channel. So from my understanding, her story is her dad worked briefly construction in Pakistan. So one day he was walking home from work and he saw this little girl left in a basket. So probably someone ditched their girl. And so he brought the girl home. He adopted her in Pakistan and brought her back to Henan. So obviously now he doesn't work in Pakistan. She's their only daughter. The mom and the dad, I think, couldn't conceive. So she's their only daughter. Our girl features her parents sometimes. So here's her parents.
爸，你来养活我失望不失望？
不失望。
啊妈，妈，打招呼。
Beyond the fact that she looks very different than what we think of an average Chinese speaker, even to a Chinese person, part of the appeal is that her accent is so, I want to use the right term, it's the equivalent of that H-I-C-K word in Chinese. Like, it's so that it adds an extra layer of comedy. A lot of her Chinese fans were like, dude, if you didn't open your mouth, I would have thought you were a supermodel. I would have thought you were an Egyptian pharaoh or something like that. But you open your mouth and it's like, whoa, you're from very, very countryside China. She captivates viewers because she captures two layers of perceptual disconnect. And the more power to her. I mean, you know, my channel loves exploring this type of stuff. Me personally, if she didn't have subtitles, I would honestly have trouble understanding most of what she said. I can probably only understand about 20% of what she says if the audio's not good. In the videos I featured before, the audio was okay, and so I could understand maybe about 60% without subtitles. But here's an example of, like, I didn't understand anything because the audio's not good and the subtitles weren't clear.
老表们，你赶紧过来割麦吧，我这脸都湿的冒着烟。你看看这不割，你看看，这枫叶给这麦刮倒完了，不割不种着的。
So obviously China is a relatively homogenous society. China likes everyone to really assimilate into it. I hope moving forward, we have more case studies like this. Not only is it fascinating from just an academic or from a cultural standpoint, I hope it'll help the Chinese mentality, because obviously there's more than just the Chinese way of thinking, the Chinese way of life in this world. Having exposure to different types of people will hopefully help the average Chinese person and the Chinese politician, the Chinese leader, see multiple views. I think it's really bad to be able to have metacognition, for lack of a better word. Metacognition, for my definition, is being able to step outside and look at situations, and then maybe step even outside of that and look at that, right? Layers and layers of stepping outside the box. I will definitely look for more situations like this. I know there was one case when the communists took over China. There was, I believe, a British girl or an American girl that was left in China. So I remember seeing a little documentary on her, but there's got to be interesting stories like this. I'm sure there's other cases of, let's say, adoption or whatever, where the face, the whatever, doesn't match what comes out of the mouth. So this is very, very fun to look at. So anyways, guys, if you guys have any examples you want me to explore, let me know. Okay, guys, talk to you soon.
老表妹，你看这是啥？你看呀，这个奏桌亮的，你看，香的很。你都吃过这没有？小酥肉摊，让你看看。